Wow, I can't believe we're finally doing this. We're talking about some of our favorite movies that we watch either on Netflix or Blu-ray or wherever movies are available.
And non-favorite movies too.
That's right. Even movies that aren't fun or we didn't enjoy.
Basically, we're just gonna review any movie or new show that we watch.
Exactly. And we're going to give you the plot synopsis according to internet resources like IMDb and Wikipedia. And then we might give our own, and just a general commentary, things we liked, things we didn't like. And we're going to be honest with you because we're Leos and that's, we can't hold back in that regard.
Sounds good to me.
So what movie are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about As Good as It Gets.
Okay, and who is in that movie?
Well, it's a 1997 movie that stars Jack Nicholson, Helen Hunt, and Greg Kinnear.
Had you heard of any of these actors before?
Yes, I recognize all three of them, but I mean Jack Nicholson's the most famous, but I haven't seen too many of his movies.
Yeah. Are you a Jack Nicholson fan?
After this, definitely.
Yeah, he was interesting in this. I'm familiar with Jack Nicholson. My first exposure to him, I believe, was The Shining. That might have been one of the first. Mm-hmm. And he's pretty crazy in that. And the thing is, he's always crazy. It's like a different form of crazy that he manages to embody. And I'm pretty sure that's what he's known for. I don't know any other actor that pulls it off like he does. It's just the micro gestures and his facial expressions, his eyebrows, his smiles, the way he moves his eyes. Yeah. He's amazing, and he really inhabits the role of an obsessive compulsive misanthropic author. And I'm using the word misanthrope because that's what's out there online. He embodies that really well, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Now, what was like one scene that really stuck out for you?
Well, I really liked when he went to see his psychiatrist, and I don't remember what. Oh, I guess I don't remember what caused him to go see the psychiatrist, but he'd been watching the dog, and then the dog got taken away from him.
Yeah.
And then the waitress wouldn't make him food, but I don't know what made him go. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, this is funny.
But
go ahead.
Basically, he went to see the psychiatrist because, as a person with OCD, he had developed these habits, and finally, these things in his life made him change those habits, and in a way, they were painful, but they also got him to change himself in a good way. So he knew that this was happening to him. So I took it as he needed to go see his psychiatrist, because this is what the psychiatrist urged him to do. And basically the psychiatrist wouldn't see him, and that made him freak out even more because he had it in his head he had to.
Yep.
But the part that I really remember is the psychiatrist wouldn't see him, so he walked back out to the waiting room, and there were a bunch of random people there, and they're all they all have OCD or something similar.
Some sort of psychiatric thing.
And he just looks at them and he's like, what did he say?
I believe he said, what if it doesn't get better than this?
Or what if this is as good as it gets?
Exactly, yeah.
Title.
That's actually, yeah. You're right. That is what he said.
And I really liked it because it's true. And
true in what way?
Most of us might not have OCD, but we all deal with something, and
a hidden thing, right?
Hopefully we're all trying to improve, but I think that's something relatable to everyone.
Absolutely.
What if whatever life is right now, what if that's as good as it gets?
Yeah. I think a lot of people wonder that, whether they believe in God or spirit or are spiritual in general. I think that is the battle of this life, right? Is this as good as it gets? Can it get any worse? A lot of people will say that. My aunt the other day, she posted something. She was like, "You're sitting on the toilet and it's 11:59 p.m. and then you do your little poopy, and it turns midnight when the poopy comes out. So it literally is same shit, different day. And why do I bring that up? I bring that anecdote up because the other leading actress in this film, Helen Hunt, that's Jack Nicholson's love interest here, and it's not apparent that that's even possible at the beginning of the film, right?
Yeah, which I really liked. It was a romantic comedy that wasn't. I don't think it was really about. I mean, it's always about love, I guess, but that wasn't the main theme of the story to me.
No, it wasn't sappy.
So, yeah, it wasn't too,
It wasn't really about the love. To me, I mean, the love is kind of like a secondary theme.
Yeah.
To me, it was more a character study, right? So you also have Cuba Gooding Jr. in there in a supporting role, which is really interesting. And when we first see Jack Nicholson's character, and he's, like I said, he's an author. So he lives in a nice apartment building. He lives next to a gay artist, and this artist has a really cute dog, right?
I don't know if it's cute.
That's true. He's kind of like a rat with eyes.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's cute in his own way. We just have certain dog preferences.
Yeah, no hate there. No
yeah,
hate.
Sorry.
We don't want to insult people's dog preferences, but
I don't know, was it like a Yorkie?
basically like, yeah, or a terrier. I don't know.
Something. It was cute, I'm sorry.
It was cute, but we noticed like the dog was changing throughout the film. And then we
Yeah.
saw in the credits there were 3 different dogs.
One main dog with 2 supporting dog actors.
Isn't that funny? So the film begins with the author trying to get rid of this dog. So right away we get a sense of his character, and he's more than a jerk. Like Jerk does not scratch the surface with this guy. And the artist knocks on his door and is like, "Where's my dog?" Because he immediately is suspicious that the author threw him down the trash chute, and so that's how the film begins. And imagine being on this journey and watching this character arc develop, and asking yourself the whole time, is this author really going to turn around?
Yeah.
Is this artist and this author going to become best friends? And is it possible that this waitress, and how much younger do you think the Helen Hunt is?
Well, that was another thing too. There definitely is a big age difference.
Yeah.
And I really did not.
You couldn't picture it, right?
No, I didn't think that it was going to end up that way, because to me the movie was about so much else.
Yeah.
But in a way, it made it even more romantic in the end, I guess.
It did. I say that as a young man in my mid-20s, and I was never into romantic comedies or... Yeah, go ahead. Let them know.
Yes. Okay, this is probably the second romantic comedy movie that we've seen together.
That's right. What was the first one?
Love Actually.
Love Actually. How long ago?
A long time ago. Years.
Yep, Walking Dead guy is in that. That's why we watched it.
So, I know that Abraham will not watch rom-coms, so I always just let him pick the movie. And...
Yeah, I mean, we were on Netflix, and I was like, what do you want to watch? We did split the viewing up into 2 nights, and I read the synopsis, and I turned to Daniella, and I'm like, hey, that sounds like it could be fun.
Mm-hmm. And, yeah, it was fun, and you laughed the whole time.
There was one scene, I don't want to spoil it, but it was right around the climax, I would say, and the 2 of them are, let's just say they're out, right? And you're not, as the audience, you're not sure what's going to happen next, especially given this guy's misanthropic character, right? And it's just hilarious. I could not stop laughing, and I wasn't expecting to laugh that hard. Like, the movie is definitely amusing, but I was never expecting there to be that one scene that like really made me go over the top of my laughter. And when I find a movie like that, I really, really intend to enjoy it and remember it, because it takes a lot to get me to laugh in general. So this is an amazing film. I'm seeing here on IMDb, it came out, look at that, 97, Christmas of 97. So I didn't know that detail, that it came out on Christmas. I bet this was a hit back in the day.
Well, you made me think of something.
Go ahead.
And then I lost it. Hold on a second. I gotta get it back. Oh, yeah, about how funny it was. What I appreciated was it was funny in a way that wasn't creepy. It wasn't even condescending.
Yep.
It was just, it's been a while since I saw a movie or show that was just funny because of the characters.
And without an agenda, right?
Yeah, exactly. But when you pulled it up on Netflix, I honestly didn't read the synopsis.
You didn't
I
read
like
it?
skimmed it, and I saw, I don't know, I don't think I read it. So basically what I'm trying to say is I didn't know that he had OCD
Yeah.
until we were watching it, and I was like, oh, like, you see the patterns. He doesn't like to step on cracks in the sidewalk, and he
likes
has
to lock his door 5 times.
turn the light on 5 times, wash his hands like a bunch of times and stuff. But I do think it's a good commentary on like mental health in general.
Definitely.
Because the reason why he connected with that waitress, because basically no other waitress would serve him.
Because he was such a jerk.
He was such a jerk, and she, I don't think she knew what he had, that he had OCD. She knew that he was a little off.
Yeah.
And she accepted him for that, but she also wasn't afraid to put him in his place. And basically, yes, people have mental illnesses, but that doesn't give you an excuse to be a jerk.
No, never.
So, where like a lot of people had to kick him out, like the restaurant owner kicked him out. A lot of people got angry at him, and they kind of had a right to do so. But she was the only, even though she of everyone, she had the right to get the most mad at him, but she was patient with him at the same time.
She was, and I do want to speak to where I think that patience comes from, just from a character standpoint, is the fact that her son is a really bad asthmatic, right? And so she kind of sees this man almost acting like a child. Yes, he has mental illness, but he's very spoiled. Okay, he has OCD, but he's very demanding, exigente, right? And what's ironic too is like this man, he writes romance novels, and you hear him at one point like narrating what he's writing, and it does sound romantic. Sorry, a call's coming in, but we're gonna turn that off. No distractions. So it sounds very romantic, and you're surprised that this man has that depth to him, that he is that complex, and obviously he's gifted as a writer, but I do think there was always that possibility of not just romance, but like real humanity deep down in there. And then what coincides with that is his neighbor artist, his approach to art is identifying people in those moments, because we all have really nice. Right, we all have those moments where we let our guard down, and we really like are actually in some ways more human than we typically are, because we're always walking around with our facades. So his approach is to document that, and I love that. That in itself. There's a lot of commentaries in this.
A lot, definitely.
And I really like that it was made in the late '90s, and applying that to what's going on today. I almost feel like this film stands on its own.
Definitely.
And it takes place in New York.
It's very refreshing.
A lot of the films that take place in New York seem to either have an agenda, and I'll leave it at that, or they're kind of like decadent, or they don't really do anything for me. Too dramatic.
Just unrealistic.
Right.
This was romantic and really good storytelling, but in a realistic way.
Mm-hmm. It was a great film. And I'm kind of disappointed now, because I don't know what we're going to watch next. I mean, what's going to be the next rom-com that could compete with this?
I have no idea, because I haven't even looked at the rom-com
genre
title.
Right. So we definitely want to put that out there. If you have any recommendations, please let us know. We are an engaged couple, and this feels like we're turning over a new leaf here, and something that we might make more regular, watching rom-coms together. Now, are there any other closing statements or things that you'd like to throw out there to the audience?
Me?
Yeah. No, Pico.
I don't think so. Next time I'll speak better.
You spoke very well, Danny. They're going to love hearing you. Really, let us know what you think, and let us know also if you've seen this film. It's on Netflix. I don't know how much longer it'll be on there, so check it out. Okay, guys? Thank you so much for listening.
Peace.
Peace.